Today, we got some exciting news that's shaking up the smartphone market. We're diving into how Google's latest flagship, the Pixel 9, has helped Google achieve record-breaking sales in the third quarter of 2024. So, if you love tech as much as we do, make sure to stick around. Let's set the stage. According to recent data from market research firm Counterpoint, the global smartphone sales rose by 2% year-on-year during Q3 2024. And believe it or not, this is the first time we've seen any growth in this quarter since 2018. That's right, it's a turning point for the smartphone industry, folks. But what does this mean for the key players in the game? Let's break it down. Samsung continues to lead the pack with a substantial market share of 19%, mainly driven by its popular mid-range A series and the flagship Galaxy S24 family. On the other hand, it's interesting to note that their latest foldable phones aren't performing quite as well. Next up is Apple, coming in hot at a solid 16% market share. After the launch of the highly anticipated iPhone 16, Apple briefly climbed to the top in September. Essentially, these two companies are doing a fantastic job of holding their ground. Now here's where it gets intriguing. Xiaomi has seen an 8% surge in sales, claiming 14% of the market share as well. Just for a moment in August, they even managed to outpace Apple as the second biggest seller. But wait, Oppo faced a dip of 3%, but held steady at 9%. And Vivo? They experienced a hopping 10% growth. Clearly, competition is fierce. But here's the kicker. 3 companies outside the top 5 experienced significant growth. Motorola and Huawei both saw their shipments soar by an impressive 30% during Q3. But now let's get to the star of the show, Google and the Pixel 9. Google has reported selling more phones than ever before in a single quarter, driven largely by the Pixel 9 family and the newly launched Pixel 8a. That's right, folks. This was Google's best quarter for shipment volumes, marking the 4th straight quarter of growth. This remarkable uptick in sales suggests that not only is the smartphone market recovering, but consumers are also increasingly interested in upgrading their devices. Now, although some might argue that the pandemic's impact on consumer behavior is still lingering, one thing is clear: the Pixel 9 is winning hearts. Now let's talk about why consumers are now willing to invest in a new smartphone. One key factor driving these purchasing decisions is the incorporation of artificial intelligence. Recent reports indicate that 1 in 4 consumers are willing to pay over $600 for a smartphone that features generative AI technology. That's a game changer. This shows that as technology evolves, consumers are adapting and are willing to invest in features that enhance their smartphone experience. As for Apple, sales of the iPhone 16 are expected to remain stable over the coming months. There's even a chance that they might edge past Samsung, becoming the top smartphone seller for Q4. It's an exciting time in the smartphone arena, and we can't wait to see how it all unfolds. So there you have it. The Pixel 9 is not just another device. It's playing a crucial role in transforming Google's market presence and pushing for innovation in the smartphone industry. What do you think? Will the Pixel 9 help Google climb even higher in the rankings? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more tech updates. Thanks for watching. See you next time. The smartphone industry is constantly evolving, with each new year bringing us flagship devices that push the boundaries of technology and design. In this video, we'll be taking a close look at the 2 biggest names in the smartphone world right now: Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max and Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra. Both phones are powerhouses in their own right, but how do they stack up against each other? Let's dive into the battle of the bigs. Design and size. As expected, Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max doesn't deviate much from its predecessor when it comes to design. The rectangular shape, soft corners, flat sides, and dynamic island pill-shaped cutout remain. This year, however, the screen has grown from 6.7 inches to a massive 6.9 inches, making it the largest display ever on an iPhone. Its bezels are even thinner, but the overall dimensions have changed slightly, measuring 163mm by 77.6mm. In comparison, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is slightly smaller at 162.3mm in height, but a bit wider at 79mm, making it easier to handle for users who love to use the S Pen for sketching or taking notes. Speaking of the S Pen, Samsung once again offers the stylus nestled into the bottom of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It's a feature that remains unique to Samsung in the flagship market, and one that many users either love or ignore completely. The precision of the S Pen, developed in partnership with Wacom, is something to be admired, making it a fantastic tool for creative tasks. Apple, on the other hand, introduces some new tricks with its buttons. The Action button, which debuted in the iPhone 15 Pro series, returns, offering customizable functions for launching apps or activating Siri shortcuts. But the real star of the show is the new camera control button. This physical key, equipped with a capacitive surface, allows users to control the camera with a swipe, much like a traditional camera shutter button, enhancing the photography experience. Both phones come in sleek color options. The iPhone 16 Pro Max offers titanium finishes in white, black, natural, and the new Desert Titanium. Meanwhile, Samsung gives users a broader selection with titanium violet, yellow, black, and gray, and 3 exclusive colors if you order directly from Samsung's website. Display differences. When it comes to display, both phones boast impressive technology. The iPhone 16 Pro Max features a 6.9-inch OLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display that can drop its refresh rate to just 1 Hz, keeping your wallpaper or photos visible even when the phone is asleep. Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra comes equipped with its signature AMOLED screen, also featuring a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display. However, Samsung has a slight edge here with its anti-reflective coating, which makes the screen much easier to see outdoors. In contrast, the iPhone struggles with reflections in bright sunlight despite its high brightness. Color accuracy is another area where the two phones differ slightly. The iPhone's display leans towards a yellowish hue, while the Galaxy has a bit of a teal tint. But with both phones offering blue light filters and adaptive color calibration, these differences are minimal in day-to-day use. One new feature for the iPhone 16 Pro Max is its ability to drop to an incredibly low 1 nit brightness level, making it easier on the eyes in dark environments. Samsung's display already hovers around this level, so both phones are excellent for nighttime use. Performance and software. Under the hood, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is powered by Apple's latest A18 Pro chip, built on a second-gen 3nm process by TSMC. This cutting-edge chip brings significant improvements in performance and efficiency, particularly when it comes to handling heavy tasks like gaming and AI-driven processes. Apple has also focused on better heat dissipation, addressing the overheating issues that plagued the A17 Pro chip. The Galaxy S24 Ultra, on the other hand, is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, specifically tuned for Samsung devices. While both chips are incredibly powerful, benchmarks show that Apple's A18 Pro takes the lead in CPU performance. However, in 3D graphics tests, the Galaxy S24 Ultra isn't far behind, offering stellar gaming performance. Both Apple and Samsung are pushing into the realm of AI, with dedicated NPU cores to handle AI tasks. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with Apple Intelligence, which will roll out new features gradually, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra already boasts AI-powered features like live translation, generative image editing, and transcript summaries. As for software, the iPhone runs iOS, which has seen some welcome changes this year, bringing it closer to the flexibility of Android. You can now place app icons anywhere on the home screen and even customize their colors. But if customization is what you're after, Samsung's One UI still reigns supreme with features like split-screen multitasking, themes, and more. Samsung has also stepped up its software update game, promising 7 years of updates for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, compared to Apple's 5-year commitment for the iPhone. Camera capabilities. Apple has made some significant upgrades to the cameras on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, particularly the ultra-wide camera, which now features a 48-megapixel sensor. The main camera remains at 48 megapixel, and the 5x telephoto camera comes with a 12-megapixel sensor. A new lens coating helps reduce the lens flare issue that has been prevalent in recent iPhone models, especially during night shots. Samsung, as always, is pushing the envelope with its camera hardware. The Galaxy S24 Ultra boasts a hopping 200-megapixel main camera, alongside a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, a 10-megapixel 3x telephoto, and a 50-megapixel 5x zoom camera. While the megapixel count might seem impressive, the real magic happens in post-processing. Both phones have excellent cameras, but Samsung has a slight edge in zoom performance, while the iPhone tends to over-sharpen fine details like leaves or grass. In low-light conditions, both phones perform admirably, but the iPhone's new lens coating helps reduce the flare and artifacts that can appear in night photos. Samsung, on the other hand, continues to struggle slightly with oversaturated greens in its images, but this is only noticeable when directly comparing photos side by side. Battery and charging. When it comes to battery life, both phones pack a punch. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 4,685 mAh battery, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra comes with a slightly larger 5,000 mAh battery. However, Samsung takes the lead in charging speeds, offering 45-watt wired charging compared to the iPhone's 20 watt. For wireless charging, Apple's MagSafe offers 25 watt, while Samsung's wireless charging maxes out at 15 watt. Conclusion. So, which phone is the better choice? It's a tough call. The iPhone 16 Pro Max impresses with its sleek design, powerful A18 Pro chip, and improved cameras, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra excels with its S Pen, higher megapixel count, and faster charging speeds. Ultimately, it comes down to personal preference and whether you're more entrenched in Apple's ecosystem or Samsung's Android world. Either way, you're getting a top-tier smartphone that won't disappoint. What do you think about it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Until then, take care. Goodbye.